For 15 years, DJ Bob has been your go-to source for pop culture, past and present. We eat, sleep, and breathe pop culture, just like you. He's interviewed countless fascinating people, from well-known names to everyday heroes.
DJ Bob connects with his guests on a personal level, exploring their stories, passions, and challenges.
He's not just interviewing, he's building a community of like-minded, inspiring, driven, and talented individuals.
Join DJ Bob as he delves into the world of entertainment and the conversations that matter on all levels. This is the DJ Bob Show. Roll it.
Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood first introduced their first autistic character, Max, back in season 5. It wasn't until this week, January 26th, 2026, that he got his own storyline in the series, his own episode. And we're here to talk all about it with the supervising producer of Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, Chris Loggins, and one of the writers of this episode, Ava Rigelhaupt. We talk about the care that was taken in showing representation of those on the spectrum, seeing the story come to life, and the more important things, like what would you do for a day with the character Max? You can stream this episode on pbskids.org, the PBS Kids app, or, of course, watch it on your local PBS station right now. This was a wonderful chat, and I hope you enjoy it. So, Chris and Ava, I'm so happy to talk with you about this new episode here of Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for reaching out.
Of course. I want to start off with you, Ava, and I want to ask, you have had so much experience writing in children's television, but you were kind of new to the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood world. What was the relationship with your co-writer, Haley, like?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, working with Haley was really fun, and she has written so many cool scripts for Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, and so I really leaned on her to help me navigate the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood universe, what language was used, how the characters behave. Of course, I did my research as well, read the series Bible, and watched a lot of episodes, especially those with Max. And she also helped me navigate notes and collaborating with the research team, the executives, while staying how to, of course, incorporate the notes and the research, etc., into the premise that we wanted to share with kids.
Of course. So, for you, Chris, what was it like when you finally read the script and was like, when you finally, read Ava's work and saw this come to life here?
It's always rewarding for me to see, because I'm there from the very beginning when we have just like a premise, and then I get to see the draft all the way through to the finished product. And I'm just so excited for this episode. And yeah, when I saw it, when I finally read the script, I knew we had something really special. The thing that we were most excited about for this season was being able to tell these stories from the perspective of other characters. And this is actually the first time, Max is the main character. So it felt really special. I even remember in the room, at the very beginning when we were had our story kickoffs, and we were this is a new thing, we can do new characters. And I forget who first said it, but we were talking about this episode and the theme of you can be more than one thing, and somebody said, can this be a Max episode? And we were all just like, yes, that's perfect, exciting, let's do it. And I think it's turned out very well, and it's credit to Ava for writing such a great script.
And Ava, kind of jumping off of that, you could be more than one thing is kind of the theme of this story, and it's the thing that's most repeated. For the unfamiliar, is that a common concept that most individuals on the spectrum encounter and struggle with? And could you kind of get into that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I also thought similar to Chris that this was a neat concept for children and to have as Max's perspective. And I think it is a common concept sometimes in various different ways for different ages that yeah, sometimes people on the autism spectrum do struggle with. And it's one of the things that I worked the closest with Haley and the team and research, etc., on how to show Max struggling with this concept, right, at the beginning, and then eventually embracing it. And as writers, you always have sometimes like a little area where you like hold the line or are reticent to take a note sometimes. And in this area, I kind of like held the line, reticent to take that. He wouldn't embrace it right away. This confusion, I Haley and I worked together on it needs to last longer than sometimes other confusions and emotions last in the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood universe. And that's okay. And so that what makes Max's point of view different. And I think other kids with or without neurodivergences, such as autism, will understand and will like to see, and parents as well, that new concepts can take longer to understand. And then they eventually are understood through different examples. And, you know, suddenly you, just like as an adult, have an aha moment where it comes together. And I like showing that. Yeah, that was a really neat way to show Max's perspective.
Because I was watching it and I was thinking, I'm not on the spectrum, but I have cerebral palsy. And even for me, when I was younger, seeing people do different thing, be in different roles than what I'm used to was a bit of a challenge for me. But having it at the forefront like this, it was very helpful.
Yeah, it's like seeing a teacher like outside of school, right? As a student, maybe even as an adult. You're like, huh? It's just kind of weird.
Chris, you were there from the beginning when Max was introduced a couple seasons back now. What was that process like of introducing him into the universe?
It was very in depth and thoughtful and unique. We worked with several advisors from the academic community, but also from the neurodivergent community to help us make this character and make him a fully realized character with different interests and personality. And also knowing that, you know, he's one person. He's not representative of a full community, he's just one person. But it was very important to us in all the shows that we make at Fred Rogers Productions to make sure we're doing what we can with the resources that we have to make sure that most kids as possible can feel themselves represented in the show and see themselves in the show. So that was, I think, something that was top of mind when we were developing the character, and also making sure, you know, that he is an important part of our neighborhood. And, you know, since we've introduced the character, he's been featured in several stories, and now he's got his own story as the lead character. So yeah, we want to make sure that he continues to be part of the neighborhood in lots of different stories going forward.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad about that. So, Ava, when you were approached by the team at Fred Rogers Productions and Daniel Tiger Neighborhood, what were your thoughts about building on the aspects of the character we've already known for a little bit? I just said that he had been on the series for a little bit, and what's it like highlighting him in a masterful way in this episode? Because it's really well done.
Thank you. I was really delighted to be asked to write for Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. And of course, I don't know the makeup of every writer for the show. They have a lot. But yeah, as an autistic writer, especially for this episode, I think I am able to bring in nuances and perspectives that may not occur to non-autistic people, and how to show Max's thought processes to young children in an entertaining way. We just talked about how to show him embracing a new concept. And yeah, it was really neat to work with the team and to build upon Max's nuances. And also the imagination moment is really fun too. I really like those new ideas that the team brought in for all the characters.
So, Chris, what was it like for you to? You're there from the beginning, from the idea. So when you see the script animated and done, and then you know that we're all gonna see the final product after all that hard work, how does it make you feel?
I mean, It made me feel proud if I'm allowed to say that. I mean, I'm proud of this episode. I'm proud of the team, proud of the people that we worked with to make this happen. And I hope that children and families can watch it together, children and their parents and caregivers, and take something from it. We all put our best effort into everything that we do. I want to make sure, we're showing the same dedication and hard work. And, maybe that hard work isn't necessarily noticeable for the average viewer, but a lot of time and thought has gone into every decision that is made for the show. Yeah, and I think it's just a great episode. I'm really excited that it's finally premiering. And again, credit to Ava writing a great episode, and also just like the entire team, like even the animators, um, being thoughtful about how to animate Max and taking our notes and concepts and input on how his nonverbal communication should happen on screen as well. So it all comes together, and I think it's a good episode, and hope people will enjoy it.
Yeah, Chris brought up a fun point about the animation that, yeah, when Haley and I were writing this, we also put in a little bit more, what is it, like stage directions, parentheticals for Max and the other characters of different moments. Yeah, when Max does make eye contact or when he doesn't, and how he behaves and stuff to help the animators bring that authenticity, because it's, of course, not just how someone says not just the words, it is like how they say it. And so, yeah, that's really neat too.
So you have worked on many different shows, and you've done a fantastic job at representing those with autism and the disability community as a whole. What's it like for you to give the community a voice on screen when, quite honestly, historically, in children's television, it's been very few and far between as representation goes?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for this question. It is really incredible and exciting, and also an honor to add to the positive disability representation on screen, and to be able to meld my love of storytelling, entertainment, the arts, TV, film, with, of course, my passion for diverse stories and positive representation. And the disability community has a saying, you may know, nothing about us without us. And so, as I think I previously said, writing for characters that intersect with parts of my identity allows me to bring in authenticity and perspectives. And how I bring that in is different. Right? You've met one autistic person, you've met just one autistic
Yeah,
person.
one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah. And so it's a different story, character each time. And so the representation, nuances, etc., is different in how I collaborate with the team to add on to that character or create that character, which really keeps the work interesting. At the same time, actually going off of like the theme of the show, you can be more than one thing. I just thought to add when I was thank you actually for sending questions in advance. That's like an accommodation I often ask for. Sometimes I can be long-winded, so knowing what to focus on really helps, and writing things in
Of
advance.
course, I was
Yeah.
happy to do it.
And so, yeah, you can be more than one thing, and writers can be more than one thing. So Haley and I always point this out, like this was a co-write, but like I write for all the characters, not just the autistic ones. Autistic writers can write for a variety of characters. So I wrote dialogue for Daniel and Max. Haley and I worked together. And so I just thought to point that out. Sometimes there is confusion in the world, and in people in the entertainment industry or people watching it. And so I think that goes into our idea of um, allowing people to explore and be more than one thing.
I love that. And for the both of you, Chris, we'll start with you. What do you hope families take away from this episode?
I really hope they take away the main strategy that we've been talking about, which is you can be more than one thing. There are so many things that make each and every one of us who we are. And I think that is very relevant to this episode and just in life in general. There's a partner episode, a partner story for this episode where, they think that, Katerina always likes to do ballet, but we learn she's also a t-ball player and her mom is a t-ball coach. So, we're all multifaceted, and people might sometimes try to define people in very simple ways. And, you know, we all have different parts of our personality and our life experience that make us who we are. And I think it's important for everyone to remember that. And I think even, young children can start to think about that, even if it's just in the context of, like we said earlier, like you see your teacher outside of school. Well, yeah, it's like she has a life, she or he, or they have a life outside of the classroom too. So.
And for you, Ava, what do you hope families take away from this episode here?
Yeah, I think I really love the bringing in different perspectives of all the characters. So I think this will help create empathy and for kids to better understand the potential diversity in their classroom. They might see themselves in Max. They might see themselves in just like Max's love of bugs, or see themselves as one of the peers around Max and better understand how their other peers process things. And so I think more people will enjoy seeing the characters like Max further developed through these different perspective taking episodes, and the imagination moments I think are neat too.
Absolutely. And it must have been a thrill for you, Ava, to see your script in animation finally finalized and getting that visual aspect.
Yes, yeah, it was really neat. It's always really fun to hear it all come together. Sometimes I ask to also come to the little table read that's sometimes not necessarily read by the actors, but by fellow writers or executives, just to hear it, yeah, outside of your brain and seeing it come together is really amazing.
I love that. So, Chris, for you, you've been on this show. You know I like to ask fun questions, but for Ava, this is new to you. So, the hard-hitting question here, the most important question of all, which is, how would you spend a day with Max?
Ava, you want to take that one first?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for sending this. I found it a really fun question, and I'm glad I had some time to think about it. So I've been mentioning the imagination moments for a bit because I find them really fun, and I think how you go into kids' imaginations really also shows their character. So I think I would want to like be with Max in his imagination moment, talking to bugs. I normally don't like bugs, but his bugs seem pretty nice, and I love speaking to animals. I do prefer talking at, in quotes, to more dogs and horses, but the imagination moment seems like a pretty cool place to be.
We love that. And Chris, for you?
I think I'd love to play like with like little cars, like Hot Wheels cars or like buses with him. That wouldn't be a full day, but I think like that could be a lot of fun doing that with him because I think like he would like really enjoy it and be into it and have ideas that I wouldn't think of how we might do that. So like I'm thinking of like even like the like Hot Wheels kind of sets kind of thing, building a track or making our own bus station or something might be really fun.
I love that. Well, I'm so excited for people to see this episode, and thank you both for joining me today. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so prepared as always and asking such great questions and guiding us in the conversation.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You too.